I made a video 2 days ago about the situation in Ukraine, and I actually slipped up and closed my browser down before I'd fully uploaded it. So I'm like, oh, no one left any comments or anything, and it just hadn't uploaded. So I'm like, oh well, skip it. At that time, right, the situation on the ground was altogether different, but something was the same, exactly the same, and it was that Joe Biden, right? It's like that cognitive test, right, that he needs, right? It should come in the way of people throwing fucking fruit at him and seeing how good he is at avoiding them. Seriously, that's the state of the play. It's like, who didn't know after Afghanistan that anyone who wanted to make any play they wanted to make could just simply make it now, knowing that that man would do nothing about it? Everybody knows it, and it's just been a matter of time, and all we've been waiting on is the weather. All we've been waiting on is the weather. I gotta admire the way that Putin just rolled in. Like, do something. It's like he hasn't just got troops on the ground, he's got leverage. Where, I mean, I would put it, just don't get involved. He's got leverage. If Germany declares war on him, he can cut the 33% of the gas off or something. It's like, this is the thing that I was trying to point to it in that video I made previously about it. Trump points to it, and it's just so obvious. It's like, you're doing business with these people at the same time as you're asking us to pay to defend you against them. Why don't you just make friends with them? You're obviously doing lots of business with these people. It's like, that's great for everyone. Everyone likes cheap energy. Fine. But don't ask us to fucking defend against them, and don't pretend that they're somehow your fucking mortal enemy when you're in business with them, quite deliberately. It's like, you don't have to be in business with them, but you kind of do, don't you? So Trump's there, and I mean, Trump talked about it quite a bit because he understands the old powers. He gets it. He's the best I've heard talk about. Because I'm someone who sees the world geographically and thinks, oh, hang on a minute, this is the same world it's always been. These are the same places they've always been. And he understands the old powers. He understands that great big landmass in the middle as to say, the United States can never invade that and take it, ever. But we can hold the sea. So there's a balance of power in the world between the sea powers and the land powers, and they forgot that and abandoned it. It's like only the Americans embraced it. It's like, wow, they've got what's the most powerful weapon in the world? No, American carrier fleet. It's like, top that. And the answer is you won't. So battle, war, looks like loads of missiles in the air. That's what it looks like now. And on the ground, it looks like, where are they? They're about 4 miles that way. Click, 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 click. Boom, boom, boom. 4 miles. Can you see them? Yeah. Can you like point them out for us? Yeah, when it up, like range finder, where's it up, triangulate, so yeah, they're these coordinates, thank you. Boom. That's what water looks like. And it's like, there's, we think they're in these buildings here. It's like, oh yeah, we can't be having them having any cover. Where are they? Boom, 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 boom. Artillery, bang, 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 bang. Blow your cover to shit, get you running again. That's war. It's like we flush each other out. It's not like there's going to be people facing off against each other the way that they once was. It's like that's mostly for, support. A combination of everything works better when you've got artillery, guns and tanks. And it's like Russia are able to bring their entire arsenal forward, and they've got all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. But the real thing that you need is just domination of the earth, so you can be there with fucking great big fucking binoculars giving it that. Where are they? Like, forget it. You to resist them, you're just asking to get hammered. Like what? It's like, yeah, your troops wouldn't fight that. Your troops wouldn't fight that. So it's like, you have to let that go. They've got too much leverage, and the UK and the US have to just say, okay, you've taken some territory, and you know what? 50 years ago, we might have been able to do something about it, but now, forget it. Forget it. It's like if you've built up munitions over the years, and this army of yours is as serviceable as it appears to be in the pocket that it's in, it's like, that's quite an army you've built down there. And it's like, and there's nobody so stupid as to think they can get away with anything on the ground there, because it's like, I don't think the Soviet Union ever sort of regressed in its surface-to-air missile and rocket technology. So if they've got radar cover and they've got surface-to-air missiles, you don't go there. They fucking work. The only things that can avoid them are things, because they also act as a deterrent, surface-to-air missiles. It's like you're in trouble, they want to destroy you, but they are avoidable, but they're going to keep you away from them targets on the ground that you want to destroy. It's like the old, kind of a stealth plane, the old SR-71, the Bluebird. Hundreds of surface-to-air missiles been fired at them, and none of them ever hit one. Why? Too fast. We'll just have to drastically change direction at some point in the pursuit to outturn the missile. Never hit one. Thousands fired. It's like those planes were used to deplete the enemy's supply of service-to-air missiles. It's like, that's what war is now. That's what it would look like. That's what would happen. The only way that, say, the US could project power into the Ukraine would be to use its air force, and it would be to have its air force take some really serious losses. It would be to risk losing an air battle or going into one as to say, well, if we're successful, we predict that we're going to take like 55% casualties. And so will the enemy. So it's a matter of, then you're at war, aren't you? When you start throwing blood at it, when you start throwing bodies at it, it gets to us to where, the body count rises, and suddenly you're at war, and you lose, and you're angry, and you escalate, and then that's World War III. So it's like, there's a choice not to do it. And Biden's not got the balls. The gist of that video I made 2 days ago was me grinning about how stupid Joe Biden is and saying, threaten to nuke him, Joe. Go on, Joe, threaten to nuke him. You've got nuclear weapons, they're all paid for, they're all there, you've got the codes, you've got the football. Threaten to nuke him, Joe. And know that would be the end of him on Twitter and the like. And the media, everyone freak out. Reach for the old fear. The old and original existential fear of megadeath is either revelation, right, which is where the idea comes from, or nuclear war, megadeath. It's like Ragnarok, instant Ragnarok. It's like a legendary dread fear. You reach for that with these fucking boomers who can't handle anything and they'll go into fucking hysterics. So he can't do it, can he? But I'm like, throw in a nuke, Joe, because you could. That there being the trap set for Joe. As to if we lived in a fucking sane world, that would be the next move, is to say, you know what, Vladimir? It's like, if we decide to just nuke your ass, all bets are off. Oh, play that move, but you can't play that move because the whole world got fucking crazy. You won't have to do it. You just have to say you were going to now. You just have to threaten that this is where this may go. Let's start talking nuclear war. They've already started in the press, but it's like, it's a very sophisticated subject to think about because there's kind of a mind fuck in a wall of nuclear war equals the end or death or like a wall behind it. It frightens people to look there, to think about it. And the less you know, the more frightening it is. And the more you know, the funnier it is. I think to be able to actually think about it in rational terms, like, all right, let's nuke each other, you would have to be someone like myself who's got no children, really. I don't think you could do it otherwise. You'd be like, nope, I can't go there. So you think of all these fucking leaders in the world who don't have kids, and you think, well, they've got no stake in the future. And there's a way you could say that. I mean, it's a biological reality, isn't it? If you've got a fucking child around you, you know, and that's like, yeah, that's solid. That's real as fuck. That's as real as it gets. It's like if you've got your own people around you, you can't think that way, or you don't think that way, or you don't go there. And it's like, but the more of these people you get who've got no kids and are let's say, isolated, the more they're thinking, you know what, if we box clever here, we can play fucking poker. What? Oh, yeah. You see this thing going on with the thing that's going on with Putin now, right? This is a thing that they're trying to avoid, because while they're talking about this, they don't want to talk about Afghanistan that only happened 6 months ago, right? The world was a different place strategically on the map. You know, the world was a different place entirely when the US had an army or a presence in Afghanistan. And then in the way they capitulated and then just made a fool of themselves and told a lot of lies, showed themselves up to be absolutely incompetent, right? Those looking at America, the Chinese think, oh, that's a good do. And the Russians think, oh, that's a good do. And they couldn't not do. And they couldn't not look at it and say, hey, we can just do whatever we want. So it's like, people don't want to talk about that Afghanistan debacle and understand that that changed the balance of power in the world. That was a massively stupid show of weakness that was dangerous. It was a dangerous show of weakness. Why? Because others could see it as an opportunity. That's why it's dangerous to show weakness. You create opportunity, and that's the world we live in now. It's like Biden's already fucked it up. It's in the mix. It's like this eventuality, what's going on now, would have been negotiated as a trade deal. We were on the verge. If Trump had got re-elected, you know, we were on the verge of world peace, with NATO questioning itself as to what the fuck it even is, in view of the fact that Russia is going to have to become its great trading partner if it's going to have a future with energy. Germany has the same energy problems that precipitated World War II now. They're reliant on other countries for their energy. Then it was they were reliant on like rapacious coal mining. They had major problems. They had no access to oil, and they're in the same situation right now. So they buy it on the open market. They're open for business. Germany, in the way that it set itself up as an industrial superpower, is massively reliant on other countries' energy, as to where Russia has a stranglehold over them. It's like they've got no choice but to play nice. So it's like there's no serious power in Europe, is there? It's like, no. But they won't admit it. They'll sit there and say, isn't it better that we're together? And the answer is, well, no, not if you're not willing to do anything. It's like you've been called, that NATO alliance bullshit, that codependence with the Russians for energy. It's like, watched awful Champions League match last night, which was almost bad enough to be funny, because I've got this whole different way of looking at it now. Almost bad enough to be funny, and it was Champions League, sponsored by Gazprom. It's like, oh, UEFA seem quite fine taking the money that spends. It's like, what's wrong with these fucking people? It's like, it's there to be done. It's like, Europe, right? Finding peace, like peace. There'll never be a demilitarization. You have to keep the strength. Because there's always going to be cunts in the world, and tomorrow's another day. There's one born every minute. But it'd be peace, and peace on the basis of trade. There to be done. Why can't we have it right now? Well, because Donald Trump didn't win the last election, because things were moving forward quick on the way to peace. It was unprecedented how actually close we could have been now to have negotiated away a lot of big disputes in the world and gone in favour of mutual benefit, and in a self-serving way, in a very capitalistic way, done a deal to end a few of these conflicts. They're to be done. Being done. In the process of, it's like, finally we've got someone in this who understands it and looks at it without any sort of bias, any relationships, any bullshit, and looks at it and says, oh, this is just business. Because it is, at the end of the day. So like, your man Biden's changed the world in that Afghanistan debacle and all those lies and all that, making himself look an absolute fool, all that shit in his pants when he goes to the Vatican, all that. It's like, this is beyond the pale. The world's a very dangerous place. It was a bit safer than it was for about 4 years, and now it's become a very, very dangerous place again, because not only are you a weak leader after Afghanistan, you've shown your ass. You've put your top military advisor on the podium, and he's a woke arsehole. If I was a Russian military strategist, right, and you put Mark Milley up, I'd say, oh, he's the guy we want to fight. Like, he's that guy. And I'd send a memo to Putin, I'd say, just for food for thought, this is the general you want to fight. If it comes to it, it's like, if push comes to shove, he's the guy you want in charge when you attack. He's the one least capable of rational action or effective action to counter you. It'd be like, Mark Milley, right, send this to our propaganda people. Send this to our folks as to say, keep that guy in office. We want him. He's the guy we want. Why? Because he won't do anything, and his advice will be despicable, and he'll be a buffoon. And then it's like Jake Sullivan, and it's like Vladimir. Like, this guy's a buffoon who's won this job. He's earned this job for tricks he's pulled. He's one of Hillary Clinton's lawyers. It's like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. He's ineffectual. He just likes the idea of being the, what is he, National Defence Advisor. It's like, really? It's like, yeah, he's the guy you want in as well. You look at that, really, you look at that administration of the US, and they're a dream team. Blinken, Secretary of State, he's someone who likes to virtue signal and dog whistle that he's a real person. Alright? Doesn't seem to know very much about what's been going on in history, but he likes going to events and things. Really, it's like that's the sort of level of the game he's at, by way of thinking, hang on a minute, we got some trouble here. Guy replaced that Pompeo, one of the sharpest hard bastards out there, with like, handle himself, restraint, address things, doesn't need to hide, doesn't need to deny, sits there. Strong man. And it's like, he's gone and he's been replaced by this, guy who'll be tweeting out, hey, it's Black History Month. Replaced by that. And it's like, the woke world might have a set of rules, but when the real world fucking smashes it in the face with artillery, it generally runs for its fucking life and can't even think about it. So Putin rolls in, and there isn't a leader in the world legitimate enough to say, halt. And he knows it. He just keep driving. Like, fuck you. What are you going to do? Nuke me. Come on, John, nuke me. Come on, threaten to nuke me, Joe. Salt's on table, isn't it? This is the thing. This is actually a feasible and projectable World War III situation where it does go nuclear. Because if they're able to continue to do what they want, because there's no conventional force to be able to stop them, to get anywhere near them. If your arsenal, your weapons planning have left it so the only fucking option you've got is to reach for the nuclear that you spent trillions on, and that's all you've got, if that's the only shot you've got to fire, you've fucking lost, haven't you? It's like, do you want to risk do you want to risk them retaliating? Because I tell you what, they fucking will. It's like, go on, threaten to nuke him. Let's have the nuclear ridiculous conversation that we've needed to have for 30 years. Unfucking blighted by fucking arsehole emotional fucking anti-nuclear peace fanatics, because that's who they are. So it's like, you can never ever have a conversation that's sensible about nuclear weapons. That's how big a fucking buzzword and topic they are. So like, the thing, there's certain situations that might lead to a coup in the United States or an assassination. And it'll be the day that Biden stumbles his way through the line. The use of nuclear weapons is authorized. And the whole fucking world be like, whoa, and it'll be like, hey, tell you what, the only way they'll be able to stop the criticism and the feedback and the people saying, hey, what the fuck, and there be an actual palpable what the fuck as to where people start screaming and shouting in the fucking streets wherever they are, right? We'll be just shut the internet down. Oh no, we can't hold up against the criticism. We need this to play out before they get to say anything. Let's shut the internet down. Let's turn Twitter and Facebook off after our announcement that we've authorised the use of the only weapon that we've got that could effectively stop that Russian army. And it's like, go on, Joe, threaten to do it. Threaten it. It's like you push yourself past Trudeau in the who's fucking worse. Who's the furthest gone when push comes to shove? When the real world turns up fucking angry with its trucks. It's coming to an head, isn't it, that Biden thing? Coming to an head. And look at it this way, it's like the price of everything's going up quite a bit soon. The price of everything. And hysteria and fucking woke fucking revolutionary insanity on the rise. If you think there's an umbrella corporation in the world that's like climate change plus atheism plus social justice plus communism plus social justice, you know, if it's one thing, it's like, wouldn't take much to whip that old revolutionary activist, revolutionary spirit, to flip that and turn it into one that's hostile to government because it's made threats to start a nuclear war. Whew. Fuck me, that movement moved quickly, couldn't it? You would be amazed on whose side you were on. You'd be amazed at the people who all of a sudden became your fucking allies and friends from that side of the left. They'd be like, oh, it's like, we need these guys to talk them out of it. Oh, it could be a laugh. I love it when nuclear hysteria rises. They were always my favourite movies. I love it. It's like, in some ways, and this be a reflection of some of the fucking crazy thinking I've had in the past, I rationalise my sort of situation as being like at the bottom. As say, when the big churn comes of a nuclear attack, it's like I'm actually in a better situation than just about everybody else. Nothing to lose. No one to look out for. So yeah, I could probably put up with that. It's like in the short term, I'm better equipped in that world to survive than this one. And you know what? There's plenty of people. You know, there's preppers, doomsday preppers, right? Preppers. You can also be prepping in your mind. If you can get it where, when the day comes, you can put your boots on, throw on your big coat, pick up a rucksack, and be gone in 15 minutes, never to return. And you got a chance, haven't you?